All right, now, if you look on the United States money, you will see a phrase, a Latin phrase, hyperbolus unum. It's a Latin phrase that means out of many, one. So, what it's supposed to mean is that in the United States, all these different backgrounds come together to form one country, one people, one idea, one identity. However, we know that's not true. It's more of a salad bowl than a melting pot. But I'm gonna take that hyperbolous item and spin it my way and say, out of many, one, out of the 8 billion people on this earth, be you, be the one you, not a carbon copy of somebody else. Don't be a follower. I know it's a hard thing to do because from our childhood, as we develop into our identity and who we are, how we live, how we're gonna be, there are other people, there are things out of our control that try to form how we see ourselves, how we're going to live, how we're going to be, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And I wonder what would happen if everybody just decided to just mind their own business and accept everybody for the way they are and not try to muscle them, manipulate them into something that they deem acceptable. Take a little child, for instance. At home, the little child has his personality, his or her, let's say that. They have their personality and they're letting it roam free. Then one of their parents or their parents, they tell them, hey, stop acting like that, stop doing that, stop doing that. And it may be something dangerous, may not be, maybe just something the parents just don't agree with at that point in time. But now the child is okay, they're learning, okay, this is me, but it's not cool to be me. They don't know this yet, but they might find out later in life. This is me, but it's not cool to be me. I have to fall under these standards, these stipulations. I have to walk in these boundaries and these parameters. Or take the child at school. The child just has a personality. They're not a robot. They have an identity, a personality, a way of being that's not infringing on anyone else. This is just who they are. Guess what? Detention, timeout, suspension, because you're not acting, you're not conforming to what we deem as acceptable. And it's funny to me because when I sit back and look at it, I think about what the world is being robbed of simply because people are not allowed to be them. If that was something that I could tell myself or something that I would drill into young people's minds is do not be afraid to be you. If that is how you dress, then you dress that way. And maybe tomorrow you say, I went with the skater look. I think I'm going to go with the emo later on. Okay, fine. That's your thing. That's your thing. And it's okay. It's okay. But we have so many carbon copies in this world, it's ridiculous. You have people who come out and they just want to copy the hot thing that's out now. And it just starts to duplicate. And you're like, man, when do they end and you begin? But are you dangerous? Are you dangerous enough? Are you enough of the threat to shake up the world and just say, listen, hey, they're buying Jordans. I'm going to buy Converse. Not because I want to be different. It's just because I am different. Well, I don't want to follow along that line. Jordans hurt my feet. I like these Converse. I like how my pants fall to them. I like the break in my pants at the bottom. It looks sleek. It looks smooth. These shoes are way more comfortable. Whatever your reason, that's another thing. Never feel like you need to defend you. I read my Bible. My Bible tells me the Lord is my defense. So, because I realize there are some people who say, hey, do not infringe on my freedoms. Do not infringe on me being who I want to be in this moment, but they will do the same to you. After a while, that's going to get annoying. How you going to respond to that? Let's not even let it get there. Don't defend yourself. Be you. If this is the way you like to talk, if this is the way you like to look, there's some, it's a way of living where you get to be you, but you're also mindful of your neighbor. That's where the loving your neighbor comes from. Being mindful of your neighbor. I'm not going to sit in front of some people who don't eat pork and eat a pork chop sandwich or some baby back ribs just because if they say it's okay, then okay. If somebody's recovering from alcohol and you're from alcoholism and you like alcohol, you might want to ask, find out, hey, is it okay if I drink this in front of you? And if not, then somebody has to do something out of respect and honor for the next person. But that's okay. But the bottom line is, I want you to know it is 110% okay to be you. Think with your mind, be who you are, having no concern with not being who you are. If you're around people who make it uncomfortable to be who you are, to laugh at the things you laugh at, to not laugh at that because it's to you it's just not funny. If you're around those kind of people where you have to put on a mask, you have to put on a costume to be around, you're around the wrong people. And I think this is the trouble with society. Everybody, I know we're relational beings, but you have to be okay with just relating to yourself, just being there with you, being in your own company, because you run the risk of doing that. You run the risk when you don't follow the crowd and you're being authentic to yourself. You're definitely gonna ruffle some feathers because I tell you, society hates it. Pick a side, Republican or Democrat, black or white, whatever. You have to pick a side. And when you say I don't want to pick a side, I'm not even gonna think about it. Whatever. I'm just gonna keep moving. They say pick a side. No, I would not. And you're an outcast now. But guess what? You get the reward of being you and you get to lay your head down. You get to look in the mirror and say, guess what, man? You were authentic today and I love you. I'm going to respect and honor you because you showed me that I can respect and honor you. Now, if you can look in the mirror and do that's power. That's strength. That's something that says they're having a hard time with you because they can't figure out what makes you sweat, what moves you, what motivates you. They can't grab a hold of that thing and drive you with it because what motivates you is being true to yourself. So be true to you. Pluribus Unum. Don't be a carbon copy. Be who you are. Walk your walk because there's purpose in your own individual walk. There's purpose in it, and the world needs it. Authenticity. That's for you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made for purposes made for you before the creation of the world. Before the creation of the world. Pluribus Unum. Be you. Now that's gains.